Right, I've got a Akatherm welder here. This has been sent in to be repaired or serviced. No indication of what was actually wrong with it. I opened the box up and I find it's got a smashed screen with the note on it saying broken screen. So obviously it's had an impact on the front. I can actually see a little dot just here where something's hit it right there, something sharp. It's not good. I don't know if I can fix this. I'm going to have to pull it apart, remove the screen completely and see if I can actually get some information off the screen. Maybe I can find a replacement screen. I don't know. We'll find out. It doesn't look promising. Yeah, we'll see how we go. It's only 3 years old. But look at the state of it. It's got rust all over it. The paint, you know, it's actually been out of the case. The paint's peeling off, the coating. It's 3 years old. It looks like this. I mean, yes, these are used outdoors, but they've got a protective case. It's supposed to be in the case the whole time, and you just take the leads out and leave this thing inside the case so it's protected. And it's got rust on the back. There's dirt inside the screws. So if I've been in this before, which I obviously have because those are my stickers, then this has been out of the case and put on the dirty ground since I last worked on it. So I went back and checked my records, and this is actually the 5th time I've worked on this welder. So this is actually the very first one I featured of this type. It had major faults on it, had the transformer winding broken on it because it had an impact. I had other ones which I had to replace some of the componentry inside with the blown transistor array and things like that. So this will be the 5th time I've worked on it. Who says I abuse the equipment? So I'm just pulling this thing apart now, and we'll see what we can do with the screen. I mean, I can see it's got like a single row connection. And I have had these apart, but I've never really paid that much attention to the screen because I haven't needed to. So we'll see how we end up with this, but I'm not confident that this is something I can fix. I mean, if I can get a screen, I can fix it. But first I have to identify what this screen actually is. Now, I know it's like a dot matrix kind of display, you know, it's a graphical display, but yeah, I've got to try and get one that's exactly the same. And there's a bit of a gamble there because there's so many different types. Yeah, just a bit out. I've replaced this chip here previously and some other stuff around here. That chip there, the triac. We worked on a transformer. I don't know, some other parts I've replaced as well around the place, I think. But yeah, this one I've done a bit of work on. There's the screen. It's direct solder connections, so it's not on a header. But hopefully there's something on the back which will allow me to identify it, and hopefully I can just desolder it and find a replacement. Looks even worse now, it's not the case. So I'm going to start off by putting some fresh solder down these pins here, so it's got a chance of desoldering a bit more nicely. And I choose the solder cycle. I'm going to take off the display itself rather than the main board. Obviously the display's knackered. I've got nothing to lose by damaging potentially the traces on this display. It doesn't work anyway, it's had it. But I want to obviously not damage the PCB accidentally by trying to desolder on the other side, which is also hard because it's conformally coated. So I'm going to take it off this side. It's going to be a lower chance of damage. Well, it shouldn't really get damaged anyway, but you know, it's just lower risk. It just makes sense to do it. So I'm just going to basically put loads of fresh solder on here. It's got a decent amount of flux in it, and freshen all these up. And hopefully this will do the job, and I'll be able to get it out a bit easier. Right, let's solder socket. I'm clogging. Okay, let's see if it lifted off. Look at that, beautiful. Guess I can find out what the hell this thing is, and if we're lucky I can find one of these. So it's now a couple of weeks later. I've ordered a couple of displays. They have arrived. 2 different versions. I'm not quite sure which one is going to work because I couldn't get one exactly the same as the original one. Couldn't get it. So at least I couldn't find a way of getting this particular one. I would have liked to replace like for like and get exactly the same one. I couldn't get one, at least not yet. I mean, I haven't been able to track one down. But so I've got these two other displays which are very similar. I've got a white one and a green one, so I might try the green one first because that's more likely to be the one we want. Pinout matched, because I did manage to find a data sheet for the original one. And the pinout matched, so that should be good. The actual pin alignment, that's what I'm checking now. They look correct as well, so physically it should fit. I think all we can really do is stick it on the pins and just rest it on the pins and power it up and see if it actually works. See if the screen comes up, and if it doesn't, we'll try the other one. Right, so we've got the screens just sitting on the pins. I'm hoping it gives good enough contact. I'm going to try and lean on it as well, a little bit like that, just to try and ensure the pins are connecting. And then I'll power it up, and if we see something on the screen, we might be alright. And reset power. Hey, look at that. It's working. Oh, that's brilliant. That screen works. Excellent. Okay. So in that case, let me try the other screen as well, because if they both work, that's brilliant. I'd like to know if they both work. It's the first time I've actually powered this unit up, because of the screen being broken, I hadn't even powered it. So let's try this screen. Let's just push on as far as I can. Do a reset on this. This one doesn't seem to work. This is make sure I've got a decent connection. Push it down a bit more. No. Okay, so the green one works, this one doesn't. So that's a good reason I've got two, because one would work, one doesn't. And this is the original one. Let's power this one up. Bit of reflection on there. And yep, nothing at all on that screen, that's completely dead. So this green screen works. I'm just going to try this one again, because I just find it a bit weird it's not going. I really thought that would work as well, because they are very similar but slightly different. They are different drivers. Yeah, you can see something on there though. I can actually see text on there. It is working, so that must be purely the contrast control. Actually, I can see the text on there. Yes, it's contrast. Look, if I bring the angle down, there it is. You can see it. It's there. So that screen is also working, but it's got a contrast control issue. It does have an adjustment just here. Let's try adjusting the contrast. Let's get a screwdriver. Well, I've got an adjustment. Let's see if we can get this contrast down. If that's on there. Not sure, is it on? Can't feel it's actually working or not. Let's try this way. It's getting worse, isn't it? Not better. Okay. Go the other way. So yes, this screen will work as well. Although I've just upset it because I just moved it around. There we go. That screen works too. Excellent. Brilliant. So yeah, I've played around with the contrast controls as I showed you, and yep, both screens will work. This one requires a contrast much like the original screen, so that's probably the one I end up getting as spares. This one also works, but obviously I've got to adjust the contrast right down quite a bit, but it does work too, so that's great. So they're both functional. Actually, one thing I should mention, one possibility that I had in mind, if I couldn't get a screen which actually worked with it, in case these weren't electrically compatible with the controllers and stuff, right? One thing I actually had in mind is that what I could do is dismantle the screens and potentially transfer the actual LCD from this unit onto this one, and it might have worked if it had the same configuration for the actual connections on the glass. Of course, it may be different, but that was like a last resort thing. If these screens didn't work, I would have been willing to pull one of these apart and actually try transferring the glass over. But we didn't need to do that, so that's great. Right, so I've got this in place, got a soldering iron ready to go. Let's solder this thing on. Now the original one didn't have any screws on these posts. I'm not going to do the same. I'm going to do it exactly the same way as they had it from the manufacturer. I don't see any reason to change that. Maybe I'll put a bit of adhesive on it or something on the back to help hold it onto the posts, but I'm not too worried by it. And I think now I need to put some flux on these because this is not working too well. Now it's going to run underneath. Let me try and rejig this setup, it's not good. Right, we'll try it this way. It's a bit of a balancing act trying to get stuff on these. Anyway. It's flux. Let's redo the first one because it was fluxless, I suppose, apart from what's in the actual solder. This solder's quite big. I might do a drag actually, I think my drag might be better for this. I'll come back and clean up after. Okay, run back up. There will be bridges which I need to get rid of, that's fine. I'm expecting that. Right. What I'm doing here is just melting 2 pins at a time and then dragging away to make sure there's no bridges. And then I'm just going to clean off the excess solder off the tip and actually give us a bunch of nice joints. Hopefully with no bridges on. Also I need to inspect them. The last one here is a bit more on it. There we go. What do you reckon? Look alright? Once I get it cleaned I think it will. Okay, all cleaned up. That looks fine to me. Let's put it back together. Then we've got to test it and see if it actually works properly. Well, obviously the display's going to work, but what other problems are there with it? Something's always broken when this thing comes back. Right, let's test this thing out. I've got my load resistor over here. This is set to 20 ohms, which is the standard resistance for these things. Or one of the standard resistances, but this one I test with. Multimeter set up AC volts. I may actually manual range this because I know what I should be getting out of it. Let's do that, make it a bit quicker. Meter is set up across the resistor, so this will determine the voltage, and from that I can calculate power. We should get about 100 volts here if this is working correctly. Right, so let's power it up. Find the switch. And let's try it out. Now I did have a slight hiccup when I was cleaning the bloody thing. I've got some IPA sneak up the back of the screen. Hopefully that will evaporate over time and disappear again. I think it's already got slightly better, but yeah, it's a bit of a pain. That was not there until I cleaned it. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't have cleaned it. This is ready to go. So this is recognising it's got a load, so these are the terminals here. These will output all the power through these tiny little wires here, but they'll be good enough for a few seconds. They'll be okay for that. So this is recognising it's seen the resistor, so it knows it's got a load. This is now going to output power, should get 100 volts or so, and we're getting close to it. 95.5. That's fine. It still works. That's actually quite surprising. Usually it's got some other kind of problem it turns up here. So that's good. I'm annoyed that I've actually got this bloody staining in there now because it looked really good before then. Anyway, hopefully it evaporates out by itself by the time I get it. With a bit of luck anyway. So if you found it interesting, don't forget to click like and subscribe if it's your first time here. Check out the other videos at the end. I've got videos here for repairs and all sorts of stuff. Subscribe link right here if you haven't done it already, and over here is a Patreon support link if you want to support the channel and help me to buy things to repair. This is something which I've been asked to fix, this isn't mine, but yeah, anyway. Catch you later.